Okay, cool. So a few things are going on right now. One, Team Cup registration has opened, and if you have not registered or gotten a team, you need to post about it and find a team, because coaches who participate in Team Cup earn 10 times more than coaches who do not. And it's a lot of fun to be able to work with other coaches and be a little bit competitive, and you get to earn a lot of cool stuff too. Team Cup is where it's at, and especially the people who are going to Summit, you're going to catch that fire from people who, like the people who don't go to Summit are going to catch the fire from people who did, and you're just going to have crazy momentum, and it's a really great way to end the rest of 2016, which is kind of crazy to say.
Auxiliary input mode.
Okay. Anyway, what else? Summit is next week, and like I said, I will be going live in our coach group talking all about what's going on and sharing all the good stuff with you and making you develop FOMO so bad that you will want to come to Summit next year. And I think that's it so far. I don't unfortunately have a list of who has Success Club points right now because I didn't ask my assistant for that, so sorry. But all of you are doing a fantastic job, and I promised that I would announce the winner of our Facebook Live little contest kind of thing, and I will later this evening. But all of you guys did fantastic with that, and I encourage you to continue to do Facebook Live videos because people really get to see your personality. They get to know you more on a personal basis because it's not just them reading your words through text. They get to know you and your crazy personality and what you're doing. I try to hop onto Facebook Live once a day and share value. I think it's a really great way to share value with people that's not just through text. So as you know, I'm really into like cauliflower tacos and pizza right now. And so having the ability to share that information with people and bring them value and motivation through something live, I think is a really great tool that if you grab a hold of it and you practice with it and you get comfortable with it, it's a fantastic tool to start using in your business. So you guys did a really, really great job with that. Even Pat said you did a really great job with it. He watched a lot of your videos. So not that Pat is the only thing that matters, but anyway. Okay, so we have Lauren on this call, and I met Lauren last year. She's super cool and bubbly and fun, and she's a 5th grade teacher full-time. When do you start school again?
August 23rd.
School can't start soon enough. Isaac is going to kindergarten.
You and I have differing views on that.
True. My friend Cassie, who is a coach, she had VBS tonight, so she's not able to hop on, but she is also a teacher and dreads it. So.
It's just so nice to wake up every day and like have nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't miss the children. I totally love my students, but there's just something about not using an alarm clock I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, see, my kids are my alarm clock. I'm usually up at like 4:30 in the morning because of Adeline, and then the boys wake up, so it's great. But anyway, she's a 5th grade teacher. She works full time, and she is a phenomenal coach, and she is a part of another business centers downline for Pat. We're unfortunately in differing business centers. But she's really cool, and she's going to share some information with you guys about kind of first year mistakes to avoid. It is always best to learn from other people's mistakes so that you don't recreate those mistakes and have to deal with the heartache of going through them. So I'm really excited to hear what she has to say, and I hope you guys have your notebook and pen ready to take some notes. And if you have any questions for her, we'll open that up at the end so you can ask her any questions that you have. So go ahead.
All right. Hey, guys. So I go by L Deal on Facebook because I'm a teacher, and so I have to like have an alter ego. So after this call, if you try to find me, I'm not Lauren Deal on Facebook. I'm ELLE. So let's start with that. So now that you know both of my names, I've been coaching for 1 year as of, I think, 2 weeks ago. And at first I signed up because I wanted to lose a couple pounds before I went to the beach, and I just wasn't comfortable in my own skin. And so I fought it for a year. In fact, I watched like 6 different coaches. I got invited by a couple different people, and I was one of those people who was like, I don't need the help. Nope, I'm good. And I just like deflected invites like a shield. And so I watched a couple different coaches, and Pat, who is Amy and I's coach, I watched also for a year. And
do you know that whenever he first invited me to the coaching opportunity, he promised that he would do Turbo Fire?
I think
we were on like that like one-on-one call that we used to do or whatever. And he was like, oh, what program are you doing? And I was like, Turbo Fire. He was like, I really need to try that one.
Let's hold him to that. I think it's Summit. Can you bring it?
No, the only thing that he knows how to bring is his like one move.
Oh yeah. Or I thought you meant Peter's kick. Anyway.
Oh.
So I watched Pat for a year, and he was just really chill about it. He wasn't in your face. He was kind of like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to do it, whether you decide to do it or not. And I was like, you know what? I need that. Like, cause I don't want someone who's in my face, but I also I just liked his vibe. He was going to support me, but he wouldn't be too much. You know what I mean? So like I was shopping for coaches. And so I was like, I'll give this guy a try. Anyway, so I jumped on, I lost 11 pounds in 3 weeks, and I was shocked because I couldn't believe it actually worked, because I thought I saw it on an infomercial. I was like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it kind of thing. You know, like I'm sure you've all seen something like that and you're like, nah. I did Isogenics, I did Nutrisystem, I did Weight Watchers, and none of it worked. And so I believe it when I see it kind of thing. He had a very simple system. I stuck with it every day. And by the end of it, I came out happy. And he was like, you know what? Could you see yourself paying it forward to someone else? And I was like, yeah, I want to tell my mom about this, because she has type 2 diabetes and was really struggling and got an ultimatum of like, if you don't make a life change, we might not see it the next visit kind of thing. And so coaching started with me, like from me, to help the people around me who were closest to me, because if it could help me, I want to help everyone immediately close to me and have it ripple out. So I helped my mom, and in the last year, she has lost 50 pounds and is off of all of her diabetic medication.
That is so cool.
So she's my motivation every day. And so the people that I search for are people who need this. And so what I want to talk to you about is the mistakes that I made in a year, and about how I was going after the wrong type of people. I didn't have a tracking system. I was a mess because I was winging it, because I was half in, half out. I didn't really have a why. I'm a poor teacher who barely can rub 2 pennies together. And so when Pat asked me to do this, I was like, yeah, but not this month. I got to budget for it. So I was one of the people who I used the objection of no money. But I also think of that when it comes up as an objection when I'm talking to people too, that it's not no forever. It's just it could be not right now. I literally don't have money right now. So that's why follow-ups are so important. Okay, so that's my story, and I want to jump in about the mistakes that I made. And the first biggest thing that I can say to you is I didn't track anything. I would invite every single person on my list of people, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm done. I coached. That was good. Hopefully someone bites and talks to me. And it worked. The first 3 months I hit Success Club 10 and plus, because it was all the people I knew. And they were shocked as hell that I was succeeding with this. And so they were like, oh yeah, I want in. After month 3, all the people who knew me had heard about it and were like, okay. And so you need to start dipping into your cold market, which I had no clue how to do that. And so what I started doing was going to girls on my friend list that I was like, oh, she's kind of cool. And so I would go to her, and then I would look at all of her friends, and I would see if we had 20 plus people in common. And I was like, could I hang out with her? Yes, I could. Click, we're gonna be friends. And so I would go down while I was watching TV and just friend request 50 plus people. And I wouldn't say anything to them, which I'm sure goes against some people's rules, but I would let them watch me. And I've had a lot of success not jumping on them right away. If people can watch me, they kind of get to know what I'm about. And then I actually track when did I friend them, and then I write when will I contact them date. So a due date. So tracking is so huge, and that's something I didn't do. And I want to show you how I track. I don't have my glasses on, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. All right, so let me scroll up to the top and then share my screen with you. Share screen. And I am a yellow. And I don't know if Amy makes you take personality test. Raise your hand if you've taken the color personality test. Okay, good. All right, I see a couple hands. If you haven't raised your hands, I'm going to drop the link to Amy, and you need to take it, because it really helped me figure out why I was making this so hard on myself. I'm a yellow, and so basically what that means is I'm a loud, boisterous person who is focused on fun and really sucks at organization, apparently. So I had to find something that worked for me, and it took me 9 months. I tried Excel spreadsheets, but I didn't like how tiny the boxes were. I did paper and pencil, and I had 4 different binders, and I lost 2 of them. And if I wasn't with the binder and someone messaged me, I like panicked because I was like, I don't know what we talked about last. Like, I could have just scrolled up. It was a mess. And so I made this. And this was about 3 months ago, and I've been using it ever since. And so hold on, I'm going to move your pretty faces over here. Okay. So this is what I do. I literally put the date that I talked to them. Did they even see it? Did they reply to me? Do I not even know? So I put a question mark, and I need to go back. And I purposely left it. Oh, did I fix it? Oh, shoot. I purposely left a couple to show people. Oh, all right. Look at me being proactive now. All right. And then I put their name. Okay, so I got to lean forward and talk to you about this, because some of them are black, and I need to go back and fix them. But the blue ones, while I'm in the message with the people, I have this Google Doc open. I have my script of what I'm going to say. I have their Facebook page so that I have things to talk to them about, and then their little chat box at the bottom. So I have like 4 things open. And what I do is, after I send them an invite, I copy their name and I drop it into my spreadsheet here. And the nice thing is, it creates this little link to their page. And so I never have to like copy and paste and search them again. I just click their name and it takes me right to their page, so I can remember what we talked about. Then I put notes next to it. I remind myself, well, why did they say no, not right now? And why did I push their date back to talk to them later? Or what was their objection, so that I can come up with like a spiel for future objections. So it helps me to understand why it wasn't a good idea at the time. Then I have 3 follow-up boxes. So when am I planning on following up with them? What did I follow up them with? And then when am I going to follow up with them again? And then the third time, because I don't like to do it like back to back to back. I might, like, if they said no for the first month, I might wait 2 months and then come back, because I don't want to like be down their throat. So this is my tracking system. It's worked for me because I like to be able to like move my boxes however I like, which is a yellow thing. It's like a, can't be confined in a box kind of thing. And it's something I actually use. And something else that I wanted to show you is how I keep track of my daily tasks. And again, it took me forever to figure out how to do this. I don't know if you can see my screen. Can you see the screen of my phone?
Is this that app? Is it called Done?
Yes.
Okay. I keep trying to, if anyone's going to go try and download this, if it works for you, let me know. But Sarah Marshall was telling me about this. Mm-hmm. And when I try to install it, for some reason in the App Store, oh wait, it's going now. Maybe you're the lucky ticket.
Okay, good.
All day long, it's been like, sorry, can't help you.
So there's apparently 2 different apps for iPhone, and I don't know if you can get it for Android, but you can try. And Sarah Marshall is one of my Success Club partners, and so we send this list to each other every night before we go to bed of like, did you actually get it done? And I'll be honest, there are some days where I don't get it done, and she's like, well, it looks like you're gonna have a late night then. So I put this into my thing, and it's like, I do 30 invites. I say happy birthday to everybody. I check into my current challenge group. I create a list on this spreadsheet of who I'm going to talk to tomorrow. I form, and a simple form could be like, hey girl, how's your summer going? Like, just something to get them talking. It doesn't have to be like, hey, I see you have 2 dogs. Tell me about your life. Like, it could be like simple, get them talking about what they're doing. And then I friend request 30 new people. I follow up with anybody who talked back to me that I messaged the day before. And posting every day, anybody who likes my post, I make sure that I talk to them, and I'll just say like, hey girl, thanks for liking my post yesterday. Isn't it crazy? And whatever I posted, like, and so get them talking. Or the other day I posted that I had a migraine, and like 1 million people posted like ways to fix it. And so that's an easy, that has nothing to do with coaching, but it gets them talking.
this app, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it done Manage Your Life with Ease?
Hold on 1 second.
Because the one that I downloaded does not look like yours.
Yeah, there's two. Oh, now I opened the wrong thing. Hold on. It looks like. Hold on. Sorry. I might just take a screenshot of it and drop it to you and you can put it in your group. Does that work?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to make sure that I downloaded the right one. I don't know if this is it. This one? Right, sorry, hold on. That one.
Nope, mine looks like 3 little bars.
Huh. Is the app called is it called Done?
It's called Done, and it looks like, hold on, D-O-N-E. Oh, hope I can spell Done.
I'm sorry, I'm being a pain in the tush.
No, not at all, because frankly, if the other one works, that's great too.
It doesn't look anything like what?
I just like, I'm a very simple, like I like everything.
Can I find it? Anyway, move on. I can talk about this later.
All right, I'll send it to you. But now I'm kind of determined. All right, so tracking is a huge thing, and that's why I use this app, is because it's nice because when you do find the app, and I'm determined to find the app, it tracks how many days you got your list done. And the nice thing is, I'm a big color person, so when you click it and you're done with it, it's not like a little checkbox. It turns the whole thing a rainbow color. Makes me feel good. So I feel happy when I get a color because I never know what color it's going to be. Surprise! And then it keeps track of and so I'll just open it so you can see the app in action, and then I'll send you the stupid thing. Okay, so if I click my birthdays, it shows the different days, like it shows which days that I did the birthdays consistently, and then it does a graph. It actually graphs my progress. And so I think it's really cool because it's really neat to, I don't know, like to see whether like I'm getting everything done and what's my frequency of getting things done, because I'm not a good spreadsheet person. And so I like that it does the work for me.
So every day, do you have to go in and input your tasks every single day, or does it carry them over?
It carries them over, and every day it wipes it clean, and it's a fresh
start. Why can't I find this?
I know.
I'm so mad.
Find it, girls. I'm determined. Just type in like daily task manager. That might be better than just typing the word actual done. Hold on, daily. Yeah, we will find it.
If anybody hasn't figured it out, I'm a red, and I like to take control of things.
It's organization right now. Anyway, okay, so task manager, I will find it. Okay. My problem was that I was inviting up a storm, but I was never following up. And so that's why I had to make this, because the other thing is I never cleaned out my inbox ever since I signed up for Facebook back in college. And so that's been 9 years of me not cleaning anything out. So every message I've ever had, ex-boyfriends, friends I don't even know anymore, are still in there. It was like an archive of weirdness. And so I had to go back in and like delete a million things, but it was kind of nice to kind of start fresh, because the people that I had invited a year ago and then never followed up with, it was like the perfect time. My line this week was, hey, we haven't talked in a year. How's your fitness and nutrition going since I talked to you last a year ago? So clean out your inbox. Make sure you're always following up, because 6 of the people that I have in my group this month were people that I checked back in with from a year ago. And they were like, yeah, we'll do it now. And I was like, oh, okay, perfect. The other thing is I never fought, like when they did like an objection, I never said like, well, tell me more about that. Or, you have your own plan. That's fantastic. Tell me more about it. Hey, would you be willing to jump in my free group and give some new ideas and help people who need a little help? So like when they say like, oh, they already have their own plan, like I used to be like, oh, okay, great. Have a great day. And now I'm like fighting for the objection of like keeping them around, because if I think they're a cool person, I want to have them. And eventually if they get them talking and then like make them feel good, some of them have slipped into coaches. And so I'm fighting for their right and they deserve to have this experience. And I never took it that way before. I was afraid of pushing it. But you just have to be careful with how you say it. It's not pushy. It's not salesy if you are like genuinely caring about them helping others. Okay. Now things that I figured out. I used to post and then sit there and like count how many likes I got. And that would determine if it was a good post. And if I didn't get like 20 likes, I would delete and be like, oh gosh, I'm a failure. Like people don't like what I have to say. What I realized is even if you get 1 like, somebody is watching you, and talk to that person. And frankly, if you get no likes, that doesn't mean that nobody saw your post. There are a lot of people who scroll through the page and just don't click the like button. It's not their thing. And so they'll look at all your posts, but they're never going to tell you that they like your post. And some of the people that I have in challenge groups have said, hey, I like your post about blah, blah, blah. When's your next challenge group? And here, I've invited them forever. They never responded. They've never liked a single thing that I posted, but now they're in a challenge group. So some people just need time and they don't want to let you know. I call them spies and sometimes stalkers, but in a really, really great way. So you want to find those people too. So don't think that if you don't get like 1 million likes on your post that people aren't loving what you say. Here's something else that I've learned is that it's really easy to get overwhelmed in this business when you first start because you're hearing a lot of terms that, people are saying and you don't know what FU stands for on some of these things. And first when I saw that, I was like, why would you say that? You FU 10 people? That's horrible. And so I had no clue what the lingo meant. Some people were talking about how they had, I'm watching other people with 1 million Success Club points, and here I am with like 2, and I'm really pumped that I got anybody to do it. So don't compare yourself to other people, even though it's really hard not to. And frankly, I'll be honest, Amy Morgan, who you are so lucky to have as your coach, is like one of my huge role models. And the fact that like her posts are amazing. I like stalk her in the fact that like, I want to see what she has to say. And so when you find somebody that you connect with, it's really neat. But I feel like you can't compare yourself to Amy. You can't compare yourself to anybody else because you're not living the same life. But you can take things that she says and, translate it to your own life. So really proud of Amy and the adventure that she's on, and it's really cool to watch. Another thing is it's overwhelming to sometimes like invite 1 million people and then get them to respond back. You get all those notifications. And so you could be really, really excited and send 1 million invites and then nobody responds. And so you're done and you close your computer and you walk away. But then like an hour later, when your kids are ready for bed and your husband is asking for dinner, your phone starts to ding and everybody's responding back. And it's easy to be like, oh my gosh, if I don't respond to these people right away, they won't be interested. Something that I figured out is, well, yeah, they're responding to you, but they can wait until tomorrow morning. It doesn't have to be right now. If they're responding back to you, they clearly are wanting to talk to you. So you need to create business hours. And that was something I really, really struggled with, is that, maybe I'll work for a half hour before I go to work in the morning. And then maybe when I come home, I'll work for an hour. But then that's it, because, there's other things going on in my life and I can't sit there and give up social time or give up, other things in my life for this. Even though it's extremely important to me, don't let it overwhelm you. Which brings me to my next point. You've got to keep it simple, because if you make it really hard on yourself, it's going to be really stressful and you're going to create anxiety about showing up every day. If you think that if you put 1 million tasks in this Done app that we eventually will find, if you put 1 million tasks,
I found it, by the way.
You did?
Yeah. Actually, I did not find it. Jessica found it for me.
Yes.
It's called Done, a Simple Habit Tracker.
Done, a simple habit. Okay. All right. Well, this is good. This makes me feel happy that you found it. Screenshot it so that people can see what it looks like when you go into the App Store then. Okay. Anyway, if you make this hard for yourself, you're not going to want to show up every day. And so you've got to keep it simple, keep your tasks very minimal. And I was not a power hour person. Like there were other girls in the team who were like, hey, yeah, we're going to meet at 7 o'clock on a Zoom call and we're going to do power hour. And I'm just not a good structured person. So if they said like, okay, we're going to do 10 minutes of invites. Okay, ding, next thing. I was like, wait, I'm still in the middle of doing this. Like I wasn't good at shutting things off. And so I had to create my own power hour, which was kind of like a race. I'm somebody who likes to make things fun. And so if it's not fun, it's very hard for me to do it. So this task manager thing was, how many invites can I get done in 20 minutes? Go. And so I would like time myself and make it like a race. And then, okay, I see that I've got 5 messages I've got to get back to. All right, I'm going to go out to the pool in 10 minutes. So I've got to get all these messages done, and then I'm going to close my laptop and go out to the pool as a reward. So like, I'm a teacher. Everything has to be like, you know, checks and balances and rewards and like, yay me. So if you're anything like me, you have to have an incentive to get this done. And it can't just be like, sell a challenge pack and get the money, because sometimes that, you know, your dollar amount does not reflect how hard you worked on this. And so you need to have a strong why. And that brings me to my next point, is that I didn't have a strong why. I was a poor teacher who wanted to be able to like go do stuff and not be paycheck to paycheck. But what I didn't realize is that the money doesn't like just flow in at you within the first month or two. You know, you get out what you put in. And sometimes what you put in, it takes a while to get anything to come back out. And so the idea of planting seeds. So if you're forming, and forming means talking to someone about, and let me see if I can get this right. What's F? Family, occupation, recreation, and it's M. I don't know. Something else. Something magic. I don't know. So you basically like talk to them about who they are and what they like to do. And eventually you can lead into the invite, and it can take a while. Even if you invite someone, it could take them a year of watching me to jump on board. And so patience is huge in this business. And you need to realize that, you know, it took me a year and I'm at Diamond, and I wanted to get there quickly. And our coach Pat always says it's like running up an escalator. You know, it's hard, and, you know, but if you stop, you're going to ride it back down, and it's going to be twice as hard to get back up where you were. So don't stop, which means that you have to post on your personal wall every damn day. And there are going to be days where you're like, I have nothing to say. I didn't do anything that people are going to hear about. And that's where you get to be creative. And so I made a group, which is just called Random Things to Post. And I will literally carry my phone around, and I'll be at Walmart, and I'll be like, I came in here, or Target, and I'll be like, I came in here for a candle, and my shopping cart is full. And that's what I'll post about, is like random things that you do that people are going to be like, I know, Target gets me every time, you know? Or the other day, like, you can turn your mess into a message. And this made me a little nervous because for 9 months, I only posted like only positive things, which is great, because then I got a really nice following of like people who were excited to see what positive thing I was going to say. But then at the same time, I needed to like slip in some real moments too. Like, I posted that I had a really bad migraine and I was bedbound the other day. And I was saying, like, it's not all rainbows and unicorns over in the Deal household. You know, sometimes I can't get out of bed. I was like, what are the symptoms of migraines? And what do you do? Like, what is something that you're really stubborn about? Because I had this migraine and I was still wanting to go shoe shopping. And so they were like, you need to lay down. So got a million people talking though. They're like, get out of the shoe store, or like, let me see the shoes, but then go lay down. Like, people were chatting, which was nice, but it's basically just talking about what you do in a day, and then stirring up conversation and asking for opinions. So you can also, I was thinking like with the mess to message, like, you want to make it so that people can relate to you. And like, Amy, you're a celebrity in the fact that you can, you know, you've got a lot going on in your day. And so you can make something like kids who are like running around the house spin it into a blessing. Where like, I don't have kids, I've got 2 furry animals that I live with, and so it's very hard to make that into like you'll never believe what my dogs did today. Like, I don't have that. So you got to find something that works for your life and people will relate to. And so I see Alicia doing laundry, which is awesome. You go, girl. And so you can spin that and take a picture, like a selfie of you sitting in laundry and say like, I'd rather be watching, what's today, Tuesday? Is The Bachelor on tonight? I don't know. But you could say like, I'd rather be watching The Bachelor, but I'm folding laundry. And people are going to be like, oh yeah, laundry, it's awful, blah. Let me tell you what's going on and you can say like team, I don't even know who they are, Jordan or Luke or Tom or I don't know, Dick and Harry. So you can say like, who's your team? Fill me in while I'm doing laundry. So like your post can be very mundane, but things that people are also doing too.
I get a lot of my post ideas from personal development.
Oh,
I'm reading. Right now I'm reading this book. It's called Who You Are When No One's Watching. Because I'm terrible at consistency, honestly. And it really, when you hit a personal development book that is speaking to you in the season of your life that you're going through, and it's not just some like random book that you pick up, but you're intentional about what you're reading to grow you in the season that you're in, it literally will speak to your soul, and it will you'll get so many ideas from it. I was talking to Pat the other day. He's like, you're so happy right now. Like, what is going on with you? And I was like, I have found my soulmate workout. I'm happy with my workouts. I'm looking forward to them every day. I'm reading the right personal development book. I'm eating the right way. And when all of those 3 things come together, magic happens and you become inspired and you have amazing ideas. And those will be the times when you can't fall asleep because you are thinking about the business. So that's usually where I get my ideas from, or this is just me because it's my personality, but in the morning I have the same routine. I wake up, I feed the kids, and I'm doing dishes, and I usually listen to worship music in the morning. So that's usually where I get a lot of my inspiration for the day, because I try to start the day off with some frame of mind that's right, because if I don't, my kids, I'll literally want to throw them out a window. So
that's awesome. That was my next thing. It was like personal development. My coach Pat was always saying like, what are you doing for personal development? I'm like, and I would lie to him. I would be like, oh, I'm reading this book. And then I would look at a shelf and be like, I'm reading this book, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, what's your biggest takeaway? And I would literally open the book and be like, oh, this. And I would rattle off a quote to him, and then I would shut the book and put it away. Like I was in the boat where I was like, I don't need personal development. Personal development is like the self-help section, like Amy said before, of like, if you're broken, you go and get a self-help book, something to fix you. And I was like, I don't need that. I'm good. Like, why is everybody talking about self-help books? I'm good. But what I didn't realize is that like a self-help, a personal development book is not self-help. Instead, it's a growing experience of like, you need to find a book that fits you like Cinderella's slipper. And you need to find something that like fits you in what you're going through. But before you even look at the bookshelf, you need to reflect and figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. Because if you don't even know, looking at titles of books is not going to help you. And especially if somebody offers you a book and says, oh, this book is awesome, you got to read this book. Sometimes you get the book and you're like, I can't even get past the first chapter. And so you need to figure out what do you want? How do you want to be better? Like, what would be your ideal life? And what book would help you get there? And I have 2 books that I absolutely love, and I want to show you the titles. Okay, so 3 books just because, for good measure. This book is called Girl Code, and I'll be honest, of all the books that I've read, it is my favorite. Like, it is a book that I read over and over and over again, and the cool thing is, look how thin this baby is. I love thin books. I'm a teacher, but I don't like homework. The other book is called You're a Badass, and if you haven't read this yet, I feel like I'm like yelling with her. I'm like, yeah, you're so right. And it like pumps me up. And so like these books like make me feel good, okay? And it's not really talking about like like, oh, you're dealing with this, how to get out of it. It's more of like, know how awesome you are and let's make you even more awesome. Like some of you need to realize how cool you are. And frankly, but you getting on this call shows how incredible you are because you're dedicated to this. The other book that I wanted to show you, because I realized one of my weaknesses is I'm a night owl. And so I got this book called The Miracle Morning. And again, look how thin that book is. Love it. It's fantastic because I'm not a morning person, but I realized that that's a weakness of mine. My job, my teaching job, kids kind of show up at 8:15. And so, there's not enough coffee in the world. I need to like mentally be there. I've got to actually like teach them the first half of the day, not just like after lunch is when my mojo turns on, And so I'm reading this book, and that was a weakness for me of like how to find like an area that I was struggling in and make it better, And now I get up at 8 most days. Anyway, so, oh, hold on. Who's that dog? Hi, dog. Sorry, yellow, ADD. Okay. So another thing is you need to have hairy, scary goals. And that is something that I didn't really have. I had a list of like, oh, how great would life be if I could? But I didn't write it down. I didn't have anything to look at. I didn't have it posted anywhere. And one of those goals was Success Club. And if you are not hitting Success Club every month, you need to have that as a hairy, scary goal. And like not just 5. I want you to shoot for 10, because even if you don't get 10, you'll probably get 5. Okay? So it's a non-negotiable, and it's something that is all about probability. Because if you want to get one person to do this with you, you need to backtrack. You need to like build from behind, and you need to think about, okay, if I invite 10 people, 3 will probably respond. And out of one of those, I might get them to buy. Okay? So, okay, you need 3 people to get Success Club 6. So you need to work backwards and do the math and figure out, okay, very minimum, I would need to talk to 30 people this month. Minimum. And that's if everything goes to plan. And so you need to be thinking of like probability wise, this is not just happenstance of like someone like, oh, magically decides to want to do this with you. You need to be thinking of like, how many people is it going to take for me to get 3 people, and work backwards. And that way you are determined to practice your spiel, you're connecting with awesome people, and you're helping at least 3 people a month better their life. So everyone wins. But it starts with you. You have to decide if you're going to show up today or if you're going to blow it off and you're going to come tomorrow. But then you have to figure out that that's one less day that you have to reach Success Club.
I think one of the best to kind of note on that is there was one day, I don't remember how long ago it was, but Pat posted something in one of our groups and I read it. It was just like a sword to the stomach because he's really good at that. But he was like, if you were an employee, like this was your job, how many vacation days did you take versus how many days did you actually work? And would you want to hire yourself?
Oh,
I was like, oh God, I need to start working, because like sometimes we have those off months where we decide like, okay, well, today I feel like it. Tomorrow I don't feel like it. Today I feel like it. I'm going to take the next 3 days off. And it becomes this, like what you practice is what becomes your routine. And so when you practice like taking every other day off, or like, oh, I'll work today really hard and then I'm going to take the next 2 days off, that becomes a part of your routine. And that's not going to get you anywhere. It's like Lauren said, it's like that escalator. Have you ever tried to go in a mall like a moron and walk up an escalator? It's really, really hard. And that's what this business is like. It's you eventually, because every day if you practice that consistency, you're going to get that momentum and that strength, and you're going to be able to walk all the way up to that escalator, and it's not going to be so hard. And when you're on the top of that escalator, it gets easier and easier and easier, and things become more natural to you. People start approaching you. You find your passion, you find your niche, and you stop backtracking. It's kind of, I always use the analogy of a roller coaster. It's like if you are on one of those really cool roller coasters and you literally, do you know how, if you've ever ridden one, it feels like it takes forever to get to the top. It's like clink, 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 right? And you are like, oh my God, when is this coming? Like, when is this drop coming, right? And so you're like, clink, clink. That's what this business is at first.
Yeah.
And then finally get to the top of the escalator, and the roller coaster, it just rushes down, and you start that momentum, that whatever force.
Trajectory force, yeah.
You finally catch that wind of momentum, and there's no stopping you. But if you are like clink, 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 and then I stop, you're going to slide back down, and you're like clink, clink. You get the gist. That's what happens. Like, stop going back down. Just keep going, and you're going to get to the top, and you're going to catch that wave of momentum that you read about in the Compound Effect. He calls it the Big Mo, and you're going to go forward and have no problems.
Well, I feel like our hashtag tonight should be like, stop clinking.
Stop clinking, yes.
Stop clinking.
I just came up with that.
Which kind of brought me to my last thing, is time. Time is a unicorn. It doesn't exist. Nobody has one. Everybody wants one, but it doesn't exist. And so time is the biggest excuse ever to not show up in this business. And I will be a perfect example and say that I'm a huge procrastinator. And so like, I wanted those Success Club points, but I would wait until like the last week of the month, and then hustle, and then get Success Club and be like, well, there it was. All right. And then like the next month would come, like the next day, and I'd be like, wow, I just worked really hard. I need a break. And I would wait like 3 weeks. And then the last week of the month, I would hustle like a mad woman. And then I would stress myself out and be like, all right, I need a vacation. This was too much. And so you need to space it out. And every little tiny bit that you do, even if you invite 2 people today and 2 people tomorrow, that's 2 people more than you had yesterday. And so you have to keep thinking of like little drops in the bucket. How many drops are you putting in your bucket this month? Is your bucket going to be full, or are you starting to like hose it down the last week of the month, and hope for the best? So something that I have sitting next to my desk is a unicorn, and it's a daily excuse of like, shut up, Lauren. You gotta shut up and show up. Nobody has a unicorn. So the days that you work really hard and long at your full-time job, you still need to carve out 15 minutes, like 15 minutes to invite people to this amazing opportunity that has clearly changed your life, or you wouldn't be here. And you don't want to deprive people of that. And then you need to also take care of yourself, because that is the biggest part of this. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't help anybody else. It's like love in a relationship. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. You can't expect someone to fill that for you. So you need to read personal development or listen. I'm not a good reader. I will listen while I'm folding laundry with Alicia. Here, girl, let me help you out. And I don't know. You need to fill yourself up so you feel so good that you want to share this with other people. Because if you're not feeling good, it's going to be hard for you to share. And that confidence thing and that anxiety about, inviting people and worrying what people think, you need to get over that hurdle. And the only way you can do that is by constantly adding people to your network. And frankly, if you invite them and they don't accept, who cares? You didn't know them anyway. Or if they accept and they say, who are you? Say, hey, you look pretty great. I like to surround myself with positive people. How's your summer going? Boom. Like, who cares if they are like, who are you? Tell them. If you don't know these people, it won't hurt you, and if you do know these people, and maybe it's somebody from high school that you're like, oh, I don't know if I can invite her. I don't know. You don't know until you know. You don't get the no until you ask and you find out. So make it a game for yourself. Challenge yourself to push yourself out of your comfort zone every day. And that's all I got, folks.
Just dropping the mic. Well, thank you. I think that was awesome. Do you guys have any questions for Lauren?
Ask me things. I like to talk.
This is the part of the team call that it's really awkward and no one decides to talk.
Okay, someone just tell me your favorite color and we'll go off of that.
Stephanie Benedict, I pick you.
So I'm also a teacher, so that's the first thing. So everything you say really resonates with me. Now I think it was a morning wake-up call a couple weeks ago about someone who works in power pockets rather than power hour.
Yes.
Any thoughts on that? You kind of alluded to that a little bit, but.
Yeah. I am not a power hour person. I don't have the attention span. I'm just being honest.
Okay.
And so I will do 2 tasks and then I'll lay my phone down and then I will go fold laundry with Alicia, or then I'll come back and I will do 3 more tasks and then I'll go make dinner, or I'll do a task and then, and I'll do a task while I'm at work too. Like during the prep period, I force it in my day so that it's not so overwhelming at night. And so like the kids are in music class, I've got a couple minutes and like a limited internet access. And so I'm like, okay, happy birthday. How was your day? And like, get all my birthdays done, and then I get a magical color, and I set it down, and I'm like, okay, I got to check email.
Yeah, because that's what I started doing at lunchtime. Yes. Because I'm the music teacher, so your prep is my class.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, while my kids are with you, you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Stephanie is friggin' amazing. She is like super consistent all the time, and she's a joy to have. See, Alicia agrees because Alicia is her coach.
Yes.
Lauren really wants to do your laundry, apparently.
I really do. I really do. I say that because I need to do my own, and I keep saying it so that I'll do it after this call.
Listen, when we talk about our why, let's get real, ladies. Who likes to do laundry? Nobody. One of my first goals is when my debt is paid off. Oh, you like laundry? Okay, well.
Send it all your way, Alicia.
You can come do my laundry.
But I'm unpacking.
Oh.
Packing all the boys' clothes with no AC.
Well, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is hiring a maid to do my laundry. What's up, babe?
I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Good night.
Wait, yeah, hold on. Go ahead. Now you can say hi.
I don't want to say hi.
You don't want to say hi?
You don't have to, but we're going to say hi.
No.
Hey, wait.
Okay, just kidding. It was so nice to meet you. Bye.
I'm surprised he didn't want to talk. He doesn't stop talking.
Packing and moving $650 plus the cost of the truck.
Okay. Sorry. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, a maid.
I'm having a maid.
Yes, I will have a maid. Yeah, anyway. Does anybody else have any questions for Lauren? Going once, going twice. My microphone is not working.
Okay, type a question then. Talk that way.
Jessica wants to know, what do you say to the people who ask you about how much this is going to cost me?
I love that. Okay. All right. I love a challenge. Okay. So I feel like a lot of people say like, oh, but all right, that sounds great, but how much is it? And so I really try to like hit them with the emotional piece, not with the numerical number. And so I'll say, well, it depends on how much, how much you deserve change. How much would you pay? I flip it around. How much would you pay to change your life? What is your numerical like number of a cutoff of what you're worth? And so it makes them really think of like, like it kind of flips it around. And so I say then after they say like, oh, well, sky's the limit, but what's the cost? Like they're like, they'll play with me a little bit, but then they say, okay, but really. And so I say, well, it's $5 a day for 30 days. And would you rather spend $5 on a Starbucks coffee, which does nothing for you, and it kind of makes your life worse? Or would you spend $5 making yourself better every day? And I said, are you worth $5? And usually they're like, it stops for a second and they're like, okay, how do I order?
That's brilliant. Because I go of the approach where at first I make them comfortable and I put it in their head that it's not that much money.
Yeah.
So before we even talk about cost, I'm asking them questions, because that's usually the first question that comes up is like, how much is this going to cost me?
Yeah.
I always say to them, oh, it's really not that expensive, but let me ask you some questions so I can get to know you a little bit better.
That's good.
And so before we even start the conversation, in their head, it's not like I'm not manipulating them. It's kind of like a sales tactic if you want, but I personally 100% believe that $140 is nothing. Absolutely nothing compared to what people spend to go to the gym that they actually don't go to pay the trainer that actually doesn't know what the heck they're talking about, to pay somebody to tell them about their nutrition that's actually never going to work. People spend so much money that they don't, like, they piecemeal it out. So they're like, $20 here for Weight Watchers, $49 here for my gym membership, you know, like whatever else I'm spending. And so really they end up spending so much more money in the long run, and $5 a day is absolutely nothing. But ahead of time, like long before I even tell them the price, I want them to be thinking subconsciously in their head that it's really not that much money. So when we get to the price, they're like, oh, you're right. It's really not that bad.
That's good. That's called Ben Franklin close, by the way. I like the way you do that. That's good. My dad's in sales, and so he was saying like, oh, try this, this, and this. Or like, one was like, don't ask any questions you don't already know the answers to. And I was like, that's really hard, Dad. I don't know the answer. But I feel like when, like you said, you get to know them on an emotional level, you kind of tell them it's not a lot. But I'll be honest, when Pat said it was $140, I was like, nope. I barely have enough to put gas in my gas tank. Thanks, buddy. You know? And so he was like, oh, no, like, it's not that bad. And look at all the stuff you get. And I'm like, no, that sounds awesome. But are you going to get it for me? Like, how am I going to make this happen? And so I like to think of it as like, what would I buy into? So I make it the smallest number possible. I say it's $5 a day, which if you add it up, is the full amount. But I make it sound like each day you're dedicating $5. Can you put $5 aside every day? Can you do that? And it'll add up to this. And is it worth it? You know?
I think it's brilliant asking them, are you worth $5 a day? Because I can't imagine any person would say no to that. So that's a fantastic approach.
It's like a self-worth thing, because a lot of the people that we're coming across are jumping on because they don't feel confident in this area of their life. And so, you know, this is something that they desperately want, but that number is a hurdle. And so if you make it sound like it's really not that bad, like Amy said, like you make it sound like it's not a huge number, or you break it down into tiny increments and you make it sound like they're worth it, it might be better.
Mm-hmm. You first before you even talk to anybody, mm-hmm. you have to believe without a shadow of a doubt that it's worth every cent. And you have to know why it's worth every cent. Before I even became a coach, I was that person where like, I am not buying Shakeology. It's $130. That's crap. I will walk into GNC and buy myself a little tub of Lean Shake for $30. I was perfectly happy with that. Yeah. And that was my mentality. But now looking back at that, and I look at how my life has changed, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too, it is worth every red cent of $140. And when you have that confidence in the back of your mind, you're going to project that confidence to somebody else, and they're going to believe it too, because that confidence is exactly what they lack, and it is exactly why they followed you, and it is exactly what they're after.
Absolutely. And I really liked what Amy said in the very beginning about like posting yourself live. That is so powerful for people to get to not know just the words that are on their screen of you, but like get to see your face, hear your voice, hear your enthusiasm. And so something that I've started doing, and you can totally steal this because I feel like it's really working, is you in Facebook Messenger, you can send video messages, video invites, but you only have 15 seconds, which again, as a yellow person, I feel like it's a race and it's a game for me to get everything I want to say into 15 seconds and not sound salesy. So what I'll say is try to go somewhere where there's like decent light, and I'll just go, hey girl, saw you pop up on my Facebook page. I don't know if this is for you or not, but I wanted to throw it your way. You probably already have your own fitness and nutrition routine, but I wanted to see if you wanted to join my next accountability group. We would love to have you. You interested? Click. So it's 15 seconds. They get to hear my voice. They hear what I have to say. And for your cold market, who have never probably come across you ever in their life, you just were a name that popped up as a friend. They get to like see who you are. And then they're like, who is this person? What are they asking? And then they go research you because they see you talk.
Or, so, Lauren, you just go to Lumi.
Oh, yes. Who posted that, or Michelle?
I think it was Michelle, and you know what? I had a total blonde moment, and I ordered the wrong size on Amazon Prime Day, and I had to go order another one like an idiot.
You got one. Is it worth it?
Heck yes. Isaac's like, Mom, can I play with that light? I did a Facebook Live video today, and I used it for the first time. I'm like, this is awesome, because my house doesn't have like a ton of natural sunlight.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. But I agree. I will tell you, one of the best things that made me successful with selling challenge packs right off the bat is if you can get somebody on the phone, you 95% of the time will get them to say yes, or Zoom, whatever you want to do.
I had lunch with them. I had 2 people. I had lunch and dinner with people today.
Yeah. That whatever you can do to make it more personable, that somebody feels that physical connection to you, the better. And that's why I think Facebook Live is a phenomenal tool, because you can interact with them live. And don't, like Lauren was talking about earlier with people who like your posts, don't get discouraged if like one person pops on your video live, or, you know, I think I maybe had like 9 at one time, whatever, but it grows. Like today, this afternoon, I did a video about motivation, because I get asked a lot, like, how do you stay so motivated? Like, how do you work out, having a newborn and 2 other kids at home? And how do you balance all of these things? And I hear this crap excuse all the time. Like, there's a girl that I talked to about joining a challenge group, and she's like, no, I'm just not ready yet. But then as soon as I posted about a free group, she was like, I'm in. And I'm like, oh, like you're all of a sudden you're ready. You know what I mean? Like,
That number, that magical
Yeah.
number.
And I posted this video about motivation today, and I think 50 people were online with me, which was really cool. And so it'll grow as you do it more and more, and as the better that you get with it. Don't like necessarily pre-plan what you're going to say, because I will tell you what, some of the best things that come out of your mouth come from your heart, and those can't be pre-planned. I don't pre-plan my videos ever. I just, whatever topic for the day inspires me, I'll get on and I'll talk about it. Or, you know, like I have dance parties because of Sarah Marshall all the time in the middle of my workouts. And so I'm probably tomorrow going to look like a fool and dance on camera during my workouts, because when you are who you inherently are made to be, like I dance during Insanity. I have to listen to music during Insanity, so I would never make it through. So I want people to know that you can have fun and work out at the same time. And I want people to get to know that, like, I'm not serious all the time, and I do have a sense of humor, and I like to have fun and be silly and stuff like that. So get out of your comfort zone and try Facebook Live. It's a lot of fun.
Facebook Live won't work. It's like my microphone or my internet or something. Every time I record, the video and my voice are off, and it's like it cuts every other word. And I was like, huh. So I have to film and then post.
Mm.
So if you can use Live, do it for me, because I can't.
It might be your Wi-Fi connection.
I think it is. I think, well, I'm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I'm
I
with
don't know what iRing is. Jessica said something that is helpful. I can't read. That is also helpful that you can put on the back of your phone is the iRing. I don't know what that is.
tell me
It helps with selfies and gives you freedom.
Oh, girl, I'm all about freedom.
My son asked me, total side note, the other day, he was like, Mom, why do you have a light on your phone? I'm like, because I get paid to take selfies. And he was like, okay, Mom, sure, whatever.
Because, honey,
Oh, you can attach them to your Lumi.
look like your
Ooh,
real beautiful self.
okay. Cool. I don't know. I always think to myself, like, I'm going to get into making awesome YouTube videos like Caleb Thomas and Trey Bear. And then, nope, doesn't ever work.
The only thing I was going to say, when you compare yourself to other coaches, like I was